We are going to be checking out the LincStation E1, a NAS server from a company called LincPlus. But before we do that, as always, let's see what comes in this box. So let's talk storage. Storage is something we all need, whether it's on our phone, tablet, or PC. We take pictures, videos, download music, and also back up our data like contacts. Eventually, we may run out, and some of us will end up subscribing to a cloud-based storage service for convenience. Well, many of us already know that although it's called cloud storage, it doesn't just hover in the clouds until you need to re-download your pictures, videos, or documents. It's actually sent to a real physical server in a data center somewhere in a building where, well, other people have access to. We of course just trust the data centers to take in our data and trust that they will protect it and do nothing with it. Well, that is where a NAS, or network attached storage, comes in. A NAS server is a small storage device that you control. Similar to cloud storage, it is connected to a network, but this time it's your local network, so you can then upload what you need to save and download directly from your NAS using your multiple devices. And you keep full control of your data. Well, that was just a simple explanation of what a NAS is, so let me introduce you to the LincStation E1 from LincPlus. The LincStation E1 is an affordable NAS server that you can easily set up in your home or office, so you or even your team can upload and download files as needed and keep it securely in your hands. Spec-wise, the LincStation E1 comes with an ARM-based Quad-Core Cortex A55 processor. This CPU is a very low power consumption CPU, only using up to 6 watts on high loads. For RAM, this NAS comes with 4 gigabytes of DDR4 combined with 64 gigabytes of eMMC storage. As for storage bays, the LincStation E1 has 4 bays, 2 NVMe SSD slots at the bottom, and 2 hard drive 3.5 or 2.5 bays at the top, with a capacity compatibility of up to 64 terabytes. For connectivity, the front has a USB 3.2 Gen 1 5 gigabits port. And on the back, we get the power port, a 2.5 gigabit Ethernet port. Next to that, we get 2 USB 2.0 ports. And finally, we get a 2.1 port compatible with up to 4K 60Hz. Software-wise, the LincStation E1 runs off LincOS, which is actually a very user-friendly experience, giving you access to different tools to manage and organize your data, like dedicated video center, music center, local sharing, remote download, and more. Currently, the client supports Windows, Android, iOS, but the web and Mac version are still being worked on as of this video and will be updated in the future. That being said, out of the box, the LincStation E1 is ready to be used locally, offline, and secure. But it's also capable of remote downloading and streaming, so you can securely access your data from anywhere through your device after some configuration, of course. This means that you can work on documents and other files even if you are somewhere else. Maybe you're on a work trip and need to access something on your NAS. Well, you can through their remote download option. And of course, since you are setting up access for yourself, this is still a secure connection. Not only can you use the LincStation E1 as storage, but also as a media center, which then you can plug right into your TV and stream directly from the LincStation E1, making it a central location for all of your movies and photos to easily access and share. Size-wise, the LincStation E1 is only 8.6 inches tall and only 3.46 inches wide. I had to put a water bottle next to it to give you a side-by-side to better understand how small this actually is. Weight-wise, before installing your drives, it's only about 2 pounds, so not heavy at all. Of course, this is going to be different once you install your drives. I personally love the look of this NAS. The small and sleek build allows it to fit into any environment, so even as a media center, it looks nice with your setup. Alright, so now that we've had a bit of an overview on what the LincStation E1 is, let's go a little bit into the setup process. Setup is rather easy. You first need to plug it into power and Ethernet and give it some time to boot. Next, you have 2 options. Option 1 is to connect a monitor, keyboard, and mouse directly and work directly within the LincStation E1. And option 2 is to remote in. Since we are leaving ours in a completely different room, our server room, we're going to remote in. To do this, LincPlus first recommends to type this. This will direct you to the client download page where you can download the client for Windows, iOS and Android. You are going to need the clients to actually register and make your account. So make sure to visit this first. You can still go through the browser, which will, upon registering, direct you to the client page anyways. To do this, you're going to have to find the IP address of the NAS. You also have two options. You can either connect the monitor directly into the LincStation E1 and check the IP within its software, or you can just go to your router and check what IP has been given to the device. Once we get to the login screen, it's gonna ask you to create an account. Upon doing so, make sure that you add a password that you're going to remember, because LincPlus cannot recover your password. You will not be able to recover your password. Do not forget your password. It is very important. Okay, now that we've created our account, we are going to need to configure our disk array. To do this, we're gonna go to the main menu and then go to Array Management. Now, this is a simple process of selecting which drives you're going to link together into a RAID 0 or RAID 1. But depending on your needs, of course, make sure that you do your research on how to configure this for you. And once you've configured your array, the NAS server is ready for use. Now, here's a little bit of advice. When it comes to hardware and your first time using it, play around with it a little bit. Play around with the apps that are in it, the software, everything on how it works, learn it. Because before you start uploading important documents or files or movies or whatever it is that you're gonna put on this thing, make sure that you know what you're doing. You don't wanna accidentally delete everything after uploading it. I have been using it now for days, and I've been uploading some of my old videos to it because, I wanna keep the videos that I create as memory, or in case, like YouTube takes them down or something, I'll put them right back up. And these videos are like 10, 15, 20, 30 gigabytes in size. So they're pretty huge. You can do a mass upload onto this device and it works flawlessly, of course, when it comes to like pictures and stuff. I mean, I think I've uploaded like 3,000 photos or files already up to it, and it went very super fast. When it comes to the videos though, since I had to take into account the format, get it ready and upload, it does 3 files at a time and it splits that bandwidth between 3 files from what I've noticed. And what can happen, since I uploaded like 200 videos. So what can happen is that they can get about a percentage through and then they will fail and then go to like the fail section in the upload center or the task center, and then it'll go on to the next video. Now, just because they failed to upload doesn't mean that they can't be uploaded. So then you just go to the fail tab on the top and then just click retry, and it retries them all again. This did happen to me a few times because, again, I'm trying to upload like 500 gigs of videos all at the same time. That being said, the smaller videos had no issue. The ones that were like 2 gigs, 3 gigs, 4 gigs, up to like 6 gigs long had 0 issues. Huge video files may at times either pause or fail, but then you can just retry them again. So it's not a big deal. Now, this may not necessarily be the device itself. It could be the fact that my SSD that I'm uploading from is overheating. The bandwidth on my network is currently being utilized to the fullest potential, so there isn't enough bandwidth for the file to properly upload without any issues. Anyways, so far, locally, loving this device. I mean, I'm uploading everything to it. I created a space just for my wife so that she can upload her stuff. And here's the beauty of it. I created an account for her. So that means that like she has the stuff that she can see, but I don't even have access to that. Like she can create her personal space, which in this case is called My Space. And only she can see those files and folders unless she decides to share them with me, for example. So she has her own space. I have my own personal space that I work through. And then we have a shared space that I created, which I did RAID 1 for. So then that way, in case one of the drives fails, the other one is fine, and I can still recover my data. With this device, it can do RAID 0, RAID 1, RAID 5, and then RAID 6. You're probably gonna just be worried about RAID 0 and RAID 1, and just a quick explanation of what that is. RAID 0 just combines like 2 of your drives together, so if you have two 2 terabytes, it'll create 1 4 terabyte section on the NAS server. And RAID 1, what it does, it takes those 2 drives and it utilizes just the 2 terabytes, so you're only gonna see 2 terabytes, but it keeps a carbon copy of that, so in case like one of those drives fails, there's still a copy of your files on the other drive. RAID 0 does not do that. If RAID 0, if your allocated space completely fails, let's say one of the drive fails, all of your data is gone. So just keep that in mind. But anyways, RAID, that's a whole different video. We can go into that later on. But like I was saying, I'm totally loving this device. I created personal spaces within our home where we can upload, download, share folders together. And that way we don't have to be like, well, let me show you on my computer. Let me show you on this thing. It's like, no, you can literally just see it and access it which is awesome. I want to thank LincPlus for sending this out to us so we can try it, and that way we can show it to you. We really enjoyed playing with this, and we are definitely going to be using it here at the home office. If you want to check one out for yourself, I'm going to leave a link to their Kickstarter as well as their website so you can look into this NAS server and maybe possibly pick one up. I'll also be leaving other links that do help out the channel down below, so make sure you check those out. Until next time, take care of yourself and others. See you in the next video.